Day 8. I made the color of this law brown at my own discretion. I combined the red color of each individual worldview with the green color of his knowledge of the concepts of the world around him. The result was brown. You can choose any for yourself. But it is obvious that it categorically should not coincide with the colors with which we designated the previous laws. Because in this place there is a shift of our own worldview to the horizons of the worldview of our points of view, which, as it turned out, are independent entities, independent of our will. And in general, they can have some of their own faces and even destinies. On this day, I suggest that all of us, by the power of the law of physical displacement, run our eyes along the entire external horizon of the worldview of our points of view on the world around us. Today it makes sense to talk about the layers of time, because the shift and the layers are logically connected. In addition, as I hope you remember, God is time, because time is the highest power. The worlds are ruled by those who are able to be at least one step ahead of all those who serve these worlds with their physical or intellectual labor. In this practice, we learn to create our own world. Therefore, we cannot ignore the issues of management and ownership. And therefore, thoughts about the layers of time are far from idle interest to us. There is no point in going into the details and particulars of time, which, according to the sages, in the material universe is counted by atoms, molecules, stars and their systems. At least because at this historical moment we ourselves, as material forms of people, are exactly between what our bodies consist of and where our bodies can move. Our vital interest is to know everything about the time of our own life. And it is important for us to consciously be in its three layers: day, week and year. Our time, of course, is measured in seconds and their fractions, minutes and hours, weeks, months, years, centuries and even eras. All these measures are fundamentally important in some responsible, most often turning, revolutionary, critical moments of our life practice. But, strictly speaking, for the measure of time, only the completeness of the actor's movements has real value. And here we are talking about some kind of production process, which is inscribed in some specific algorithm. And this process must necessarily be completed within the framework of the algorithm that includes it. Now you have begun to go through the meditative practice of drawing circles of your points of view in the image of the flower of life with me. You have drawn 7 circles. From them you have made a flower with 6 petals. And these are not simple petals. These are all meanings. These are all your points of view on the issues of ensuring your own life. These points of view are collected into a single whole by the center of your own points of view on the personal space of your own self. And you should have already understood that a day spent in conscious presence can consist of several minutes. But in unconscious presence, the awareness of the meaning and content of one day can last for years, and even for millennia. The entire fullness and value of the life of a huge number of people can be described in 4 words: born, studied, married, died. Even to describe the entire life of God Almighty, only 18,000 verses were enough. And such a number of words were needed not so much to beautifully and fully describe the life of God, but to confuse the simple-minded reader. For an idle, unprepared, immature consciousness, the meaning of any religious work comes down to this consciousness safely drowning in the water of words it does not understand. And here we are not talking about someone's evil intentions, but about the fullness of time for the maturation of the consciousness of the actor. So, today we draw 6 circles from the intersection points of the 6 circles that we drew last week. We draw in some one color that has meaning for us. And we paint the inner parts of these circles up to their borders with the petals of the first flower of life, so that the body of the new flower becomes obvious to us. Today our consciousness has shifted to a new reality, until now unknown to us, but of great importance for ensuring our calm and wonderful life in paradise on earth. We do not forget to write down all the insight that comes to us during this meditative action in our secret diary, so that we can return to our notes in the next circles. and so as not to lose our points of view in the process of shifting our worldview in the layers of time. Excellent. The day has taken place.